It ain't easy to write a theme folks will want to sing out loud. 'Cause when you got cancer, wearing a wig and all, you don't always feel so proud. But here's the good part that no one knows. You gotta pass, let me show you how it goes. You gotta learn how to play the cancer card. Now for example, listen here. Hey Charlie, can I get a lift to the airport? I would love to, my friend, but I have cancer. Hey Charlie, you wanna go see Cat Stevens at the Greek tonight? Love to, but I got cancer. You got cancer? Don't be so sad. You got a little cancer, don't get so mad. You gotta learn how to play that cancer card. What do you expect? I got cancer. All right, listen, our engineer Chris Hill just hit play and record at the same time, so that means that the tape recorder's running. This is a new episode of The Cancer Card. My name is Charlie Schlatter.
Chris Gorelick.
And we're here with...
Shayne.
Linda Shayne.
We are happy to have Linda here. This is Brigade Radio 1, by the way.
Yeah.
For some reason, you seem to miss that part of it.
Listen, I'm more focused on curing cancer today. That's what this podcast is going to do today.
Yes.
In like 30 minutes or less, cancer will be killed.
Well, we're happy to have Linda with us here today. We got to get this show going, especially because we're running a couple of minutes late, and Linda has to get out of here. She's got one of the more
real IG.
She's got one of the more important appointments that you can have in the country right now.
And the reason we're running late is because we had weather today in LA. It was
sprinkled.
It was 61 degrees and it almost drizzled, and therefore
traffic comes to a
backed up.
standstill.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, but we do want to get you out of here so you can get that to the DMV appointment.
Can't wait.
Remaking that appointment.
The DMV, is that why you're leaving early?
She's leaving
Seriously,
early
to go to the
I
DMV?
have to get my you know how many months it took to get that?
Yeah. Oh, the appointment.
Yeah, and
What-
I'm going to out 9,000 miles away.
Is it to get the special license?
Yes, that's special.
That is. That's why
Yeah.
you're going?
Yeah.
What do you have to do
You
differently?
have to bring your firstborn child, a pet,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
ID. I mean,
You
everything.
got to get. I actually got it. You got to have this
me see.
golden bear in the upper right-hand corner of your license.
I know what it looks
That's
like.
what you're changing right
Ooh,
there.
I wish you could see this.
Right.
It's quite attractive.
But Linda,
is,
the
right?
information
Except for
you
the picture.
provide, to them, do they need a home address? Like, here's the thing. I have a home address, but I don't use it. I use my mailbox address for everything
You're
because
screwed.
I don't live like Chris. I'm not in a gated community. I'm accessible to everyone.
Yes, you're a
and
man of the people.
therefore, they say like, no, you have to provide your home address. But I don't want the DMV having all my stuff.
Oh, they have it anyway.
I don't
Everybody
think
has
they
it.
do because honestly, for like, I had a bit of a stalker years ago,
Oh.
and it wasn't like a 19-year-old girl. It wasn't anything that fancy. It was like a 50-year-old pasty white dude who just wanted to be my friend. But anyway, yeah, and since then we've had like zero real paper trail. You know, I'm sure if you really look, you'll find me.
You're
Who
lucky.
cares? Come over for some chicken. You know, hang
All right.
out. Whatever.
Can we get to the show though? Because we have to get her out of here.
Take it away, Chris.
I do want to give you all a little bit of background. You grew up in Boston.
Boston.
Went to Emerson College, which
Yep.
you picked LA because they have a campus here as well.
Well, no, the campus here just opened a couple of years
I
ago.
know.
I picked
That's
LA
true.
because
But it
what
is
actor
interesting-
doesn't come to LA?
Why did Emerson open up a campus here?
For their rising seniors to do their, quote, abroad program in LA.
No
Instead
way.
of Norway, they're going to LA.
No way. They're actually considering this abroad in Boston.
Valencia.
I put that in quotes for those of you who can't
Yeah.
see.
Welcome to Pacoima.
That is hysterical.
Yay.
So you want to be a star?
You know, I think it was Frank Lloyd Wright that said, if you take the country and tip it on its end, everything loose falls to Los Angeles.
So now, were you an acting major? You were studying
Yes.
theater at Emerson.
Theater major.
And
theater,
you
which is
toured,
great.
After you finished college, you toured with lots of different musical groups all
Yeah,
across the country,
I
the
did.
world.
I did.
Right, for years.
Me, the white girl, toured with Mary Wilson of the Supremes for a long time.
Yeah, we were talking
Awesome.
about
Look
that.
at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you actually-
Chris just
Can I
got
be?
a-
That's right.
Can I be a little off color, so to speak?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I said to Mary, and I'm not like this, please. I called myself the white supremacist.
Oh my God. That is funny. So you actually broke a racial barrier of sorts.
I did.
You know? That's
I-
great.
I'll show you photos.
Have there been
Big,
white
big-
Supremes after you?
Um,
Are you the white
I
Supreme?
think I'm in her book.
Wow.
That's great. That's a great story. And you've actually been
Our engineer is thinking, oh, I can't believe she just said that.
We're going to let you out of here right after the show, and you take time getting down to the parking lot.
Yeah, it takes about an hour and a half.
All right. So, when you got to L.A., you actually did a lot of TV. Actually, an actress also,
Yeah,
an actor.
yeah.
You know, you've done a lot of shows. You did The Guardian, Death Becomes Her, which I do like that movie. Death
I was a
Becomes
crazy
Her.
nurse.
You're a
and Death
crazy nurse.
Becomes Her.
That's a great.
Oh,
That's
that's
a great
with
movie.
the
Meryl
what's-
Streep.
Yeah, yeah,
Meryl
yeah.
Streep
You know that
and,
person?
I've heard
Goldie
of her.
Hawn, right?
I
And
hear
Bruce
she's
Willis.
I heard she's okay.
She's cool. She was really nice.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goldie.
I didn't work with Goldie.
No.
I worked with Meryl.
Well, you could do worse.
You taught her a
and you
thing or
did,
two.
you did a whole. You were featured in Crocodile Dundee also.
Yeah, I was one of the hookers.
You have to kind of be maybe dated a little bit to understand how
I know,
big
I'm
that
really-
movie was at the time.
Which movie?
Crocodile Dundee.
You
Oh,
don't have,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to remind me.
That was such a But I remember growing up, that was big. I was looking everywhere for that alligator vest. That
You wanted
wore.
the hat. No,
I
you
wanted,
wanted
I wanted
the
the
hat.
vest. That's what I really wanted. I looked all over for it, never found it. And then you were also one of the featured singers on The Prince of Egypt.
I sang for Helen Mirren.
Right.
So a funny story, when I got the audition tape, it was like a very, very short song. And I thought, okay, this is just a snippet. Oh no, that was the song for Helen Mirren.
really?
It's very quick. It's called The Queen's Reprise.
Oh, cute.
But I sang for Helen, and
Now at Emerson, were you a musical theater major? Did they have that back then?
Yeah, they did. I was sort of in both departments.
And I don't mean like back
I'm
then.
bitter about a little bit of someone at Emerson College because
Why?
my senior year, I was up for the lead in Zorba, and a freshman whose father was a huge Red Sox player at the time got the part.
Really?
So the dramatic arts department dragged me away. They said, "Would you do Beggar's Opera? We'll give you the lead." I said, "Yep." Screw you, Leo Nicole.
Good for you. My school did Beggar's
good thing
Opera
she-
as well.
You're kidding.
I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York.
Oh, I looked there too.
Yeah.
That's
How
so
funny.
So you stayed closer to home at Emerson.
Yeah, until I moved to New York.
Yeah.
You know,
And you started working right away.
pretty much so. Yeah, little parts here and there.
So
And-
you were never like this starving actress looking for work, starving singer. You got work and started traveling around.
I traveled.
pretty much for right away.
Yeah,
Is that a good gig, traveling around like that?
it's hard as hell.
Is it?
And those are the days when the lamps in the hotels, you couldn't get them off the end tables. They were glued.
Right.
And we did everything wrong. We brought toaster ovens and refrigerators. One of the band members cooked fish in the hotel. We got kicked out because the whole hotel stunk of like trout. He caught it from lake where he shouldn't be
What's
fishing.
going on in here,
Yes,
kids?
yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you actually do
The
you actually
blind
do a
man
lot of
joke
charity
right
work.
there.
Tons of
Now,
charity.
tons of charity work.
I do one for Operation School Bell, which is happening next week.
Right.
And
I've got a hamper full of shoes from my
Yay.
wife when she found out about this to give to you.
it's for homeless, needy, and foster girls to get them everything they need to get ready for the upcoming proms. 225 girls next week.
That's a great.
It's a lot of shoes.
A lot of shoes.
I've got a wife and 2 daughters, so I know about a lot of
Oh,
shoes.
you know shoes.
Yeah, they're everywhere in my house. We have baskets, buckets, vats. Yeah.
I have the
We don't
only
have
dog-
toilet paper, but
No.
we have shoes.
I will give you a square.
So if the virus hits us, yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna run.
And as a benefit to us for this particular show, because theoretically, conceptually, this is a little bit about cancer. Linda.
I
has-
have cancer.
No, when
Absolutely.
did that happen? What?
Multiple
Just
times.
now?
Multiple times. When I was 6
I was
months
diagnosed
old,
on
I
the
had
way over
cancer
here. So wow, when you were that little.
of the kidney. They removed one. So
What kind of kid-
I'm a
what kind of
living
cancer was
legend
that?
from Boston Children's Hospital.
Did you get to keep
Yeah.
the kidney? Did you put it
I
in a
have
jar?
it in a jar, and
good for you.
I think I'm going to put it as a sculpture
Hey, good for you.
on my now new mantle that we just built.
I have a kidney
I
stone.
know
in the
bronze
house.
it.
You
do?
should.
Yeah, I keep that at the house. That kind of the same thing.
My doctor, when I was 8 years old, gave me my tonsils in a jar of formaldehyde.
Wow.
I'll never, of course, I don't
That's
know what
what
happened.
they-
I don't have them anymore.
But that's
don't
what they
get
used to
nervous.
do.
Yeah. He goes, oh, look,
What kind of cancer was it that you lost?
a Wilms tumor, it's called. It's very common in young kids,
is.
not as young as I was.
So you're kind of average when it comes
Yeah,
to cancer. Nothing
but-
special about you right
Yeah,
now.
I was special.
At the time.
Radiation then was
Absolute-
like
oh.
antiquated, so now it's done a lot of
But
crap
you have no
to
memory
me.
of that, really, do you?
No.
No, right?
That was all on my parents.
Yeah, that must have been
Yeah.
brutal on them.
Horrible.
Yeah. Did it affect them as you grew up? Were you at least treated with kid gloves? Did you get a lot of extra things out of it?
I kind of did.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was the only girl.
I do like that.
So you played the cancer
not-
card pretty
Oh,
well.
Early.
Yes.
She's our youngest cancer card.
What did you get?
Well,
As a kid, did you play the cancer card? Because I know now because you have another diagnosis coming
Yeah.
up
You
that
do.
you're going to
Yeah.
share. But it,
wait for it.
I know, wait for it, and it better not be breast cancer. We're sick of that
No,
around here.
it's
All right,
enough of the
good.
breast cancer.
We are so not
I
that we
can't
don't-
afford to give any.
Not that we don't like boobs in this room, but we're so tired of talking about your boobs.
All right. I'll
All
skip
right.
the boobs. As a kid. So I made my parents, I don't feel so great. Can I stay home?
I think I'm getting the
Right.
cancer
I think,
again.
right. Something's growing
I need
back.
the car tonight. Yeah, it's growing back. I want candy.
Yeah. A Barbie dream house. That was my thing I wanted.
It must have been even
you got
better
it.
though for Linda, only because she didn't have to actually use the cancer card. She just got everything that
That's
she wanted.
true. That is true.
It's like, Linda, what do you want? What do you want today? How about today? What do you want now?
Yeah, I was a little spoiled.
That's awesome.
Even with no money in my family, I was still spoiled.
So cut to you've got
Yes.
this. You've got a great career going. You've got a great husband. You've got a great family. Everything's going good. And then now, is this when you get diagnosed with? Is this
about
recently?
3 years ago,
Okay.
I get a call from a test I had to do. They found lymph nodes in my armpits. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And they said it's CLL.
Uh-huh.
And I said, what is CLL?
So they knew right away. I mean, they threw
they
out that.
tested it. Chronic lymphocytic
Who's your internist? Can I
leukemia.
ask?
Monica Sarang. She's fabulous.
Okay.
In Burbank.
I was gonna say because I got a guy, but go ahead.
Who's your guy?
Dr. Josh.
Everyone's got the best doctor. How can everybody be number
It's
one?
so true.
Joshua Trabulus.
Oh, I know that name too.
Fabulous
Of course,
Trabulus.
when you have the cancer card, we all know each other's
And I
doctors.
say that because he's close to where your husband works and where you're at,
Yeah.
and so and I say his name because everybody who knows him, they have a story about how he saved their life somehow. He's just this guy who intuitively smells something wrong with you, and so anyway,
I smell it from here.
I do. Well, listen, it could be the virus. I don't know. Okay, so you go and they say, "Oh, wow,
Yeah.
you've got these things in your armpit."
Yeah, and they did some testing. I remember exactly where I was in the kitchen. Don't you remember where you were when you got diagnosed with
Yeah.
someone gave you that news?
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and this female gynecologist said, you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia, and you do that. I almost dropped on
Yeah.
the floor.
Because when you hear the word leukemia,
Yeah.
that's like every
Yeah.
movie you see, the lead actor dies from leukemia. I
Yeah.
think even going back to Brian's song.
Right, Bryce.
They
That you
all
bawled your
had
eyes.
leukemia. It's like, can't writers just
Right.
get together and say,
It was
guys,
the it disease.
we're
then.
done with
Done-
leukemia.
right.
Let's go to something else.
It's true though. You never really see like a leukemia happy ending.
No,
In a
it all
movie.
sucks. But
It
now
all
there
does,
are
but it's
happy
different.
endings. So you
Yes.
get the CLL diagnosis.
Yeah, and they said basically now I go to City of Hope every so many months, and they
Dr.
go.
Foreman, is he your guy over there?
Yes,
The
but I'm
best.
the other guy, Dr. Foreman.
Yeah, the best.
And I go to Dr. Aribi, who's his second in command there.
Okay,
Who's
good.
really nice and very handsome.
Really?
It's really nice when you have a handsome cancer doctor.
Yeah.
It is nice. Well,
No, it is, because I had a beautiful woman who came, I forgot, McPhillips. Do you
Oh, I know her too.
Yeah. She came, she was filling in for my doctor
She's
one day.
She's stunning.
And even my internist said, it's a pretty good day when she's the first face you see.
She dresses really
She
nice.
is so sharp. She just like, I go, oh my God, she's so pretty. She's very angelic.
She walked in and the cancer cleared right.
The cancer went away.
Yeah, you're right.
Cleared right up.
He fainted on the floor.
I had very competent doctors. I mean, they did a wonderful job with me.
Not
I
good
didn't
looking,
have,
though?
Well, I don't know that they were state sponsored doctors.
Oh, there you go.
They're working in the state system.
They in the CIA?
In the at UCLA, at UCSF.
So you're saying stay away from those people?
Well, if you're looking for looks, if
Give
you're looking
advice
for
to the-
brains, it's a great place to go.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't
Well,
say
you can
that
have
they're
it
gonna be a
all. You can have
runway.
beauty and brains.
They weren't Project Runway.
They were not Project Runway. Not even contested.
Did you have to have a
Not
bone
even
marrow
that.
biopsy? Did you have to do that?
No.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Did you?
I did. I had a few of them. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I mean, it hurts, but it's not like I know people that have gone under to have that done.
That's not worth it. I've had like 6 or 7 of those things.
Yeah.
And they're not fun to do, but
No.
it hurts a lot for about 1 second.
Yeah.
They take a deep breath in, and then they screw something into your hip, and then it almost was like a wine corkscrew.
It's like a
They
syringe.
take out a little bit, and it's
Well, they siphon.
when they take it out, it forms a vacuum on the way out, and that vacuum creates a tremendous amount of pressure in between the bone and the skin, and it creates this intense pain for about 1 second. But to go out for that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I did have it once with Dr. Reeby, actually.
Maybe.
I'm
You
thinking
might
years
have.
ago. My brain. I've had so many things.
You
So-
kind of don't forget
last
your
2
first
years-
bone marrow biopsy, though. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
remember
true.
having something horrible. It might have been it.
The first bone
In your
marrow,
hip,
the
in
first
your
one
back.
that you're right though. The first one that you get is similar to knowing where you were when you got diagnosed.
yeah, it's weird.
It's a
Yeah.
similar thing because it's after the first one you realize it isn't as bad, but the first one you don't really know what's going to happen, and there's fear on top of this pain. But the pain, it just I want people to know out there, if your doctor says you got to get a bone marrow biopsy, don't go under for it. Just suck it up and
Yeah.
just do it.
Have a little Valium.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not true. You can't. That's not the best advice. I got to be
Why?
honest. Because there are people who have different levels of anxiety. People who aren't as cavalier as you about having a straw type thing stuck into their pelvis. So a lot of people, listen, there are people who go under to have their teeth cleaned, and you can't crap on those guys for wanting to do that as well. You know, to each their own. So I do,
I'll
as
give
long
you-
as you do get that biopsy if needed.
All right, I'll give you the bone marrow biopsy on that one, but I'm not going to give you the teeth cleaning one. Those people
I think
are
being
losers.
cathed, I think getting a catheter.
Yeah, I've had that.
And
Yeah.
I think I would go to sleep for that.
Listen,
Thank
I
God,
could-
if I could get through this life without ever having that done, that's a successful life.
I
Having
saw-
a camera stuck in my penis hole, I don't ever want that.
I've
I don't
had
know if
that
you
too.
guys seen 7 Pounds or not, but that was one
No.
of the scenes in Will Smith had to get a bone marrow biopsy, and I was about 10, and I said, nope, that's it.
That's it. None for you.
No cancer for me.
I was like, I can't do that. He was limping in the rest of the movie. I was like, geez, is that bad?
Well, that's exaggeration. It's not like that.
Well,
It-
wait,
it-
I can-
It
I have
really
a
hurts
sto-
for a second, and then it's all over.
So now, do you have to with your? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were
No,
gonna-
I have a story on
Yeah.
crazy ass health. So because I had radiation when I was 6 months old, and then it wasn't so great, I have just a lovely host of things now. So
The last 2 years has been
hell.
brutal.
Pretty much hell.
Really.
So
Well, you
but
look
there's-
amazing.
But
You do
thank
look. You do look great.
But there's humor with everything. So I had a major abdominal bypass surgery. Everybody goes, as soon as you hear bypass, you think heart.
Right,
We
right,
have
right.
3 major arteries. I became like a biologist.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah, we all get
the
smart quick.
mesenteric is the major one. Anyway, I was in the hospital for 5 days in emergency. I went to emergency. I was in such pain. Then 2 weeks, figuring it out. Then 2 weeks with the surgery, 2.5 weeks. I come home for 8 days. I got sepsis, which for those of you who don't
Yep.
know, it's an infection in your entire bloodstream, and most people don't make it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
They revived me twice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So once I'm in the hospital, they were giving me every strong antibiotic you can think of.
Sure.
And I was in October through November, and I said to the doctors, I have to be out for Thanksgiving. I do Thanksgiving every year. I'm weighing 90 pounds.
Yeah.
I've got a catheter.
What are you, 95 now?
Yeah, right.
We're 90.
No, I'm a little more than that. I have a catheter. They let me out. Wait, I did Thanksgiving. Listen to this. Wait for it. Had a long skirt. I had a bag with the bag.
You had your little pee bag.
No, hardly anybody knew.
Did it match your shoes? That's
Well,
all
the
that
bag-
matters. If it matched the
If
shoes.
it was yellow like urine, yes.
Yes. It's kind of a golden,
It was a golden moment.
little golden slippers.
Nobody, hardly anybody knew. But the crazy thing is, I hardly remember even doing it. I was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm instructing my husband. No, that's how you do it. That's I was giving.
But you
orders.
go into that mode, I think. You go
Yeah.
into not just survival mode, but you say these are things I need to do right now, and you're not going to let that stuff stop you.
No.
And I would say also that to that point, I think that the people that tend to do well with these illnesses are people that do things like you're talking about, that still feel a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
That feel like I've got to get up and get this done. And there are certain things like when I was sick that I had to get done. People say, God, how did you do that? And I said, well, not only was I able to do that, it's probably what kept me alive was having something on the calendar
Absolutely.
that I had to get done.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I was to tell the doctor, so you got to keep me alive until, at least until my calendar is clear. So right now I got no spot to put in death.
Quick,
So
hurry
figure
up.
it out. Figure it out, right? And it's something similar to you. Is what you're saying is like, I got Thanksgiving. It's what I do.
You can't lose your sense of humor through any of this cancer
Never.
No,
shit.
never.
You can't lose your sense of humor, and that's even the doctor said when I was really, really sick, and they said, "How do you keep that? You're still funny." I have to. That's for my
Yeah.
own well-being, let alone you
Right.
guys that I'm making laugh.
Yeah.
Sure. And you also, it's good to be a patient that the doctors want to see too.
Yeah, they take better care of you. By
They
the way,
do.
you get the more crappy meals.
But Charlie and I talk about that all the time. You know, they get to see Mr. and Mrs. Dower every day,
Yeah.
all day. And when they see Linda Shayne coming up next, they're like, oh, it's like a break in my day. I get to talk to somebody that's going to be fun and nice and cheerful, and they look forward to seeing you. That's the doctor that I want. It's
Yeah.
a doctor that wants to see me. Looking forward to
Exactly.
it. Right. So it serves a purpose not only for yourself, but also for getting better care, I think.
Yeah,
With the
there-
nursing staff, everything.
There is something to great attitude with healing, definitely.
But your illness for the last couple of years was more than just trying to get through Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a brutal 2-year campaign.
Yeah,
There's a number of things that happened.
brutal. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I have many a host of other things.
Well, we have some time.
Yeah, how much stuff?
If you're going to talk about it, now would be the time.
And what kind of treatment did they do for the CLL?
For the CLL,
Yeah.
I actually they're holding. Actually, I did do a bone marrow.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Wait, forgive my mind because that's one thing that happened. All kidding aside,
Yeah.
since all this antibiotic to keep me alive was memory. It's terrible. As I say, I
Yeah.
CRS, can't remember shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of things I can't remember, but I did have that.
I think what's called I don't care about shit. I just don't care
Yeah.
anymore. That's where I'm at.
You got to let a
Oh,
lot of
kidding. I
things
care
just
about
roll
everything.
off.
So
But your leukemia, you take a pill every day.
yeah, I was gonna say because
What's yours?
I take what's called Gleevec. Is that what you take? Is that your protocol?
No, I don't have to take
or
anything.
you don't
for
take
that.
anything,
I take a million meds for a million other things.
right? Yeah.
And they're very pretty colors.
But otherwise, the cancer. So if we were to do a blood test right now, and we're not going to because Chris isn't licensed for it, our engineer. He could do a lot of other things.
Chris, no.
Just not phlebotomy.
I'm sure he could roll a blunt pretty good. But
What?
but we're not going to give you that test right now. But if they were
Thank
to test you, would you have anything? Would there be anything detectable?
There would be a little something detectable, but it's sort of holding
Steady.
steady.
Good.
Right.
That's a good word.
What were you going to say,
Steady.
Chris?
Right.
They actually teach us phlebotomy in the Navy, so you know.
Seriously?
That's
Oh,
right.
Well, let's get it done.
Are you packing
Let's
needles?
get this done.
Let's get it out.
Hey, I have to shoot myself up with insulin every day. So,
They
that's
actually
just
do. I
one
have
of the
friends
many
in the
things.
I mean, really, let's go through your litany
Oh, you wouldn't even
of
believe
things.
it.
Did you bring a list with you, or can you remember
Wait.
at least some of them?
Let me just tell you, when I go to the doctors now and I make them laugh, I go, here, I have to bring a sheet. It's like, you talk about toilet paper, it's like reams
it's
of
like
paper.
like a CVS receipt.
And my internist, who I love, she's a riot, but she said, you always have to come in. You can't just call me on the phone or just have a quick checkup. You have to make an appointment because you have 24 things wrong with you.
Wow.
I said, and that's enough to brighten your day, isn't it?
Is that the record?
24.
I'm here all week.
It's got to be breaking some kind of a record.
I probably.
So can you
it's a
tell
little
us some of
crazy.
the things?
It's all once again from the radiation. So
From what,
the
radiation
surgery
from when?
From my cancer at 6 months
At
old.
6 months, really? So you are still having issues from
Yeah.
6 months old
Yep.
from the radiation?
Yep.
Wow.
Caused scoliosis, so now I have a back problem that's hitting on a nerve, and I have had a million surgeries, and I've had female problems.
Like back
and
surgeries
high blood
or-
pressure. Well, they want me to, but I said, no, I'm not doing another surgery, not after almost losing my life, right?
Right.
Right.
We have the phlebotomist here. What do you
See,
think?
I think one thing everybody
resident
hates is a bad
phlebotomist.
phlebotomist because I've had it, in the military, they just like, regular people. So they just,
Right.
oh, this is how you stick a needle in. I had somebody miss my vein about 3 times.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys been through
Oh,
that.
it happens to me all the
Yeah,
time. They
you-
say
sure.
they can't find my veins. I said, call Mrs. Vein, who's ever good at this,
And you just
Mr.
sit
Needle,
there.
because every
Yeah.
time I get stuck about 3 times.
And you just sit there
I
and you
just
just
go-
like, every time it's just like, you just get more agitated.
Right. Get it right.
Well, and when you're sick
And you're
like
a young
this,
guy, you should be able to find a vein pretty easily.
right? It's true, but when you're sick like that, you do begin your veins recede.
They do.
It's one of the things that people don't always know about. So it's not just that they're missing; they're just trying to find something. A lot of times they can put up something called a port in, where I had a port for a while, but it can't stay in forever. Where they can just access, they put surgically into your chest, and then they can just access it through the plastic device that they can access your blood and give you medicine, all that kind of stuff, instead of giving you IVs. But, for the most part, your veins probably aren't that great to be found anyway.
You can hardly. They have to do it in my hand, on top of my foot, which
Oh,
is
I
the hardest
hate
thing
that.
ever.
I do hate the hand. The foot I've never had. That
It's
sounds
horrible.
awful.
Don't ever do it. It's horrible.
The only people that I know that shoot anything in their foot are
yeah.
heroin
Well,
addicts.
I'm not that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
could tell.
I mean, they really
Kinda.
do. They say we can't find anything. Take your shoe off.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Really.
Well, after about 10 times of sticking me.
Right. But that is one of the travails of being sick like that. Is the veins just sort of disappear? They kind
Yeah.
of recede into the body.
So
You
is my
can't get to
career.
It's like the vast twilight of my career.
it. So the last 2 years you've been laying about trying to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, you're kind
I
of
haven't done anything.
And you're on your feet again, and you're
Yeah.
hitting the streets.
I'm hitting the streets.
Good
Without
for
the
you.
catheter this time.
Yeah.
That does make moving around easier.
No, but you do. You look amazing.
Thank
Everything
you.
about
Really?
you is just vibrant,
Thank you.
full of life. You do. I mean, honestly,
I
if someone
try.
said this woman was just battling any sort of cancer, I wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't.
Well, you guys too.
But
We
you
got
must-
hot-looking guys here.
Well,
people.
we try our best. But you must have been crushed. Like all of a sudden, boom, you get that diagnosis, and you're like, again, this is ridiculous.
Wait,
I thought
okay.
I was disastered.
Another little funny story. I think, Chris, I told you this. So it's about after the sepsis, and I am 90 pounds. I look like I came out of the camps.
Yeah.
And a few weeks after, my husband takes me down the street to finally get me out, just outside, to go have a cup of coffee. So I'm sitting there, and two women who aren't good friends, but acquaintances, I know them, and they come up to me and go, "Linda, you look fabulous." Because I'm
Only in
skinny.
LA.
I mean,
Cancer, you jealous?
yeah, 00.
Yeah. I have people ask me
F
the
you.
same thing. You look really great, man. What are you, running a lot? No, I have cancer.
I mean, but
Idiot.
my bones were sticking
Yes,
out.
yeah, like
It was.
yeah.
This,
I'm doing a
it
new
was
role in
obvious.
Auschwitz.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God, true story.
But back in Boston, where
You
you
look
grew up,
great.
they would
Only in this town.
only in this
Only
town.
in
In the
It's
only in
Midwest,
LA.
they would feed
If you were in
you. They would
Minnesota-
yes, they would take you in
Right.
and give you
They'd
cheese.
give you soup.
Yes.
I was gonna say back
You
east,
look
they'd say,
peckish.
"Oh my God, what's wrong?" At the East Coast, they have a more sense of what's really going on. In
Yeah.
LA, it doesn't matter how you got there. I'm just happy that you're this thin.
That's a positive.
I
right there,
swear
that's
to
a
God,
positive.
I just had to finally give my 00s away. Not finally, actually, a while ago. I'm telling a little fib.
But I will say, you really don't. If you were telling the story right now to people that don't know anything about this, there's no way they would really believe that you were this sick so recently. It's not even like this was a decade ago.
I'll show them my papers.
Right. Right.
So I
That's
think
great.
playing the sepsis card is actually better than playing the cancer
you
card, is
think?
what we've learned today.
When I say revive twice,
Yes.
then they go,
Yeah.
there's a gasp, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Let them gasp.
Right?
You don't know what I've been through.
I like it.
When you got
She's
revived,
tough.
is there
She is
is there
tough.
anything on the other side? Can you tell us?
I
anything?
just remember, all kidding aside, really, I remember, like, this is going to sound so trite, but I do remember weird lights. And I'm not kidding. Like, weird, like, auras
Yeah.
of light. It was very strange.
Do you remember
Very
coming
strange.
back from them?
And
Or
then
is
he
this-
said, "I'm back!"
Or was it just the fluorescent
we're
lights
back.
of the room?
I remember them wheeling me into the operating room. And I do remember, when I did the first surgery before I got the sepsis, and I remember it was pristine. They have plastic masks, they have gloves, it was all beautiful and sparkly and white. It was like angels. And then, people go, "Well, what hospital were you in?" You can get it anywhere. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just
yeah.
if they,
Right.
unfortunately.
But the hospitals in this country are, people want to say we're the 37th best healthcare system in the world, something like that. I'm always saying, if that's true, why is it that if you come from other countries and you have a lot of money and you get sick, you all fly here
It's
to get
true.
better? So
It's
if we're
the
so
best
bad,
healthcare in the world. It really
right?
is.
It's
It
the
is.
best here. And when you go into these
Without
operating
getting
rooms,
into politics or whatever, they
Yeah,
all come here.
it
We've
is.
got
They do.
some of the greatest
Where do you go? What
scientists here.
hospital?
Well, I was originally at Cedars, and then Tower Oncology is where I did all of my
That's
stuff.
why you're not right. My
Yeah.
mom was with Tower Oncology. We all have cancer lineage.
Yeah.
and your mother was sick with cancer.
My father. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it's not even like if you get cancer; it's when you get cancer. What kind are you going to get?
Exactly.
And hopefully, we're going to get to that point where it's like, okay, you got
I'm
the
90.
flu and you're done, and you just, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
it won't be such a bad treatment.
Coming of age story. you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like, remember when cancer actually was, bad? Yeah, we lived through it. I do. I think in our lifetime we may see this kind of go away. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic. But if someone were to come to you right now and say, hey, Linda, I have cancer, and I know you've been through it, what would you say to that human being?
Keep a positive attitude.
Yeah.
Get great doctors, and just laugh, because that's what you better do, because it's a long road.
Well, we always say when you're looking for doctors, I don't think you want the number one person because they can be complacent. They're number one. You want them like number
true.
6 guy, the number 6 woman
point.
who has aspirations of being number one. Like they want to say,
She's going to go the extra mile to take care of you. She wants to
You
get
want the
there.
doctor that's saying, boy, if I can cure this one, that's really going to bump me up on the list.
Yeah.
That young upstart.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's who you want.
And I
Listen.
also... Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. I had to beg my now internist, Monica Serang, to take me on because she's so popular and such a great doctor. Everybody wants
Get
to be
in line.
with her. I sold myself like I was giving an actor's resume. Oh, well, tell her I have this, I have that, I have this. I'm such a challenge. She'll love me. This is
Yeah.
fabulous. And sure enough, she called me back and said, I have to take you. No one has ever done
Yeah,
this.
because your friends are bothering me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And also, I think having an advocate too, and you probably did, because it seems like you've got really great people in your life. And I think also that's really important too. Once you get that diagnosis, to have that health advocate in your life, someone who's going to speak for you. Because I know, and Chris knows, and when you're diagnosed with that, you not that you see red, but it's all very blurry. And so to have somebody with their feet on the ground who could say, no, dude, you got to clear your plate, and this is what we got to take care of right now. I think having, that clarity in your life is really good to have too.
Oh, 100%. You need a support system.
Did you have a
right?
good support system?
Oh, yeah, I have great friends. But here's the great thing. When I was back in and things were really bad, my husband sent out a huge email to a whole bunch of friends and family, and he's funny as hell. In fact, his assistant made a book for me. I'll have to show them to you. He was so funny, did everything with humor
Aw.
to everybody. So now I have it. When I was, glad they could laugh while I'm there, like seeing
Absolutely.
angels.
Yeah. What's so funny?
That's funny though because Jim Beaver just came on the show not too long ago. And he actually, wrote emails to his family.
While his wife was
While
passing.
his wife was passing.
Yeah,
Oh.
and he had this collection of emails that he would send out to friends and family because you don't want to be calling everybody
No.
individually. So he did like this group thing, and because of that, he put them all together and crafted this really eloquent book. Yeah,
And it's interesting because that book he wrote was in real time because he wrote, you can to make Steve, your husband, look, not as important in all of this. He wrote one every day to people, not just one funny one.
Yeah, Steve
he
needs
wrote
to pick
emails
it up.
every single day.
Wow.
So he really cared.
so get Steve on this.
Damn, I've just been lowered
Yeah.
on the ladder
Sorry
of
to
cancer and
Deal you
health.
that crushing blow as we say goodbye to Linda, who thought she was more important than she
Yeah,
actually
right.
is.
I'm crushed.
Linda, thank you so much for coming here today.
You're so welcome.
You're awesome. Thank you for sharing your story. I
Ditto.
know that it's not the easiest story to share, and especially as actors in this town,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times agents don't want to touch you anymore with
Tell me
cancer.
about
We all
it.
try to
Right.
act like, oh, we're so inclusive and we love you, but they almost think it's contagious still.
I
And
did
we-
have that problem.
Yeah. Same here. I got
let go.
I was left by my agency dropped me as well.
really
3
horrible,
days
isn't it?
after telling them. They said, yeah, listen, we're kind of thinning the herd over here and we're not going to pick up your contract. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. This town can get a little disgusting. So hopefully that's what I'm saying. When you have an advocate in your life, someone
Right.
who could stand up to those people, it's nice to have that.
Amen.
Best of luck with your
But
charities
your husband
that
would
you're
never
doing.
do that. He would never drop somebody with cancer, right?
Nope.
Okay. In fact,
Not
he
that
wants
guy.
he wants to have an agency specifically
For cancer
for
patients.
people with cancer.
That's
yes.
what we should start.
Yes.
Cancer card agency.
Why not? Let's
That's
do
actually,
it.
You know something?
Let's do
It's
that
actually
during
not
the
a
break.
terrible idea.
All right, we got to go. Linda, Shayne, thank you so much for joining us.
So welcome.
Thank
You guys
you so
are
much for being
awesome.
You're awesome.
Well done. This is Brigade Radio 1. I'm Chris Gorelick.
My name is Charlie Schlatter.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. Thank you,
you,
Linda.
guys.
You're welcome.
It ain't easy to write a theme folks will want to sing out loud. 'Cause when you got cancer, wearing a wig and all, you don't always feel so proud. But here's the good part that no one knows. You gotta pass, let me show you how it goes. You gotta learn how to play the cancer card. Now, for example, listen here. Hey, Charlie, can I get a lift to the airport? I would love to, my friend, but I have cancer. Hey, Charlie, you want to go see Cat Stevens at the Greek tonight? Love to, but I got cancer. You got cancer? Don't be so sad. You got a little cancer, and don't get so mad. You gotta learn how to play that cancer card. What do you expect? I got cancer.